That's fine. Let's go ahead and continue.
Okay. Let me just pick up from there.
Just pick
Okay.
up.
Uh-oh, low battery. I'm Coach Phelps. I'm the graduation coach here at Callaway High School. I'm actually born and raised here in LaGrange. Pretty much was here all through high school. When I graduated from college, which was Auburn University, my first teaching job was at Starr's Mill in Peachtree City, Fayette County, and I taught there for 8 years. And I moved back to LaGrange after having our second child. And that's what kind of brought my wife and I back here as family and helping with kids. And we moved back here. I started teaching back here at LaGrange High in 2009, fall of 2009. And I was at LaGrange High for several years, coaching football, baseball, and which is where I am an alumni. I graduated from in 1997. I wanted to do something a little different. The graduation coach job was an interest of mine, and it came open here at Callaway. And so I've been here now. This is year 4 for me.
That was amazing. How did you get into education?
So there were a couple of careers. I've always enjoyed sports.
Of course.
You know, growing up in high school, even before high school, you know, basketball, baseball, football, and I always liked the outdoors. So my choices kind of were either education to get into coaching. I thought about doing like wildlife management, DNR, game warden type stuff, and also even maybe construction. But as a high school student, I didn't know much about construction. The one thing I did know is I did not want to be on top of a house swinging a hammer in 100-degree Georgia heat. So I was like, that's out. So because of my background in playing sports and that kind of deal, I started doing some different jobs. I worked at a daycare, doing recreation at a daycare, and fell in love with working with kids and so forth. And so that's what led me into education.
Do you enjoy working with high school students?
I do. I've actually done all 3 levels. I started out teaching high school. I transitioned into middle school in Fayette County, and then I actually taught a couple of years in elementary school. And all 3 sort of have their pluses and minuses. I tend to like high school a little better. Kids are a little bit more mature for the most part. You can carry on a little bit more adult conversations, whereas elementary school, you can't really do that. And even middle school, there's too much craziness going on with hormones and all that stuff. And you can't, you just can't have an adult conversation with too many middle school kids. So I do like the high school students. You can tend to get a little bit more personal and build those relationships with them. So
That's what's up, Coach Phelps. What inspired you to pursue a path being a graduation coach?
Just working with kids. I've always taught, I taught math, and I always like to do the kind of some of the, lower type math classes, not the APs. I like doing freshmen and even some of the classes that, students struggled in with math. And so I always found it, I guess, a challenge, to try to teach them you don't have to love math, but to teach them that they can be good at it. And so just dealing with those at-risk kids in math who struggled, I just kind of like the concept of what the job as a graduation coach entailed. So when the job came open here at Callaway, I had a couple buddies who worked here and coached here, and they reached out to me, and so that's what got me here.
Now that we got to know you a little bit better, Coach Phelps, would you like to tell us your favorite sports and hobbies?
Well, obviously at my age now, football is out of the question. I try to get out there and throw and hit with guys on the baseball field, but being old, your body and your muscles just don't, I can't recover. So I try not to get too much involved with baseball and football other than the coaching part of it. But yeah, hobbies outside of that, anything outdoors. I mean, I love to water ski, I wakeboard, I wake surf. I love to hunt, fish, snow ski when we have the chance. Obviously, we have to travel because we don't have a lot of snow here. But anything outdoors, I love to do. Camping, you name it. I got a little bit of an ADD, so I can't sit still. So I'm always on the go, trying to do something. Believe it or not, if I'm at home and I'm sitting around, instead of sitting around the house, I'll go cut grass, weed eat, do yard work, all that stuff. Anything outdoors, I love to do. I just can't sit still. I'm always moving and having to, be on the go. So pretty much anything outdoors.
I feel you on being outside part, because inside is just so boring to me. Yeah. Who is your favorite athlete of all time?
Man, I don't really have one particular favorite athlete. I know everybody's got that one guy that they just, they just like. Just watching sports, there's a lot of guys out there that I always like for different reasons. One guy I may have liked him because of his, his attitude, the way he grinds and he gets after on the field. But I might like another guy because of the way he hits and his approach to hitting. So I don't really have that one particular guy. I love college sports way more than I do pro sports. So same with college. I graduated from Auburn, so I'm an Auburn guy. But that being said, I've had buddies that played in Georgia, so I'll keep up with them. Guys that went to Alabama. I don't technically hate Alabama, but being an Auburn guy, we don't really care for them. And then, of course, kids that I've coached have gone on to play college ball. Played at Georgia, played at Georgia Tech, Auburn, and so I kind of pull for those guys. No matter where they go.
What about the swag of a player, Coach?
I'm not a big swag guy.
You don't like the chains?
I don't like the jewelry. I don't like all the bandanas. To me, it's. You
don't like the accessories?
Nah, to me, like them guys that wear all that, I feel like they're trying to be seen, and it's all about them. I'm more of a team, team guy.
Team player.
I don't diss guys that do it if that's what it takes for them to, have that confidence going up to the plate to hit or whatever. But I've just never been a big, wear a bunch of wristband jewelry kind of guy. Just, man, throw the uniform on and let's grind it out.
Yes, sir. What is your favorite team?
Again, I don't really have one favorite team. Obviously pro, I love watching the Braves. They're right here in our back door. College, I'm gonna always watch Auburn baseball, basketball, football. But I just like watching the game, period. I love to watch other teams compete, on a Saturday. If Auburn's not playing, I'm gonna watch Georgia play. I'm gonna watch Alabama. I'm gonna watch Ole Miss. I'm gonna watch LSU. I love the SEC. More so than other conferences, but yeah, I don't really have that one team other than Auburn because that's where I graduated. And then again, in the pros, I'll watch the Falcons here and there, but I watch players. I'm gonna watch guys that grind and get after it, and no matter who they play for. So
I got to take Alabama over Auburn, Coach. You have to. But on a more serious note, who is your biggest inspiration?
Man, there's not one person. Obviously, family, your parents, coaches, teachers. That's probably the biggest thing. Is as a high school student, I just don't really remember elementary school that much. I hated school growing up, so I remember all my elementary school teachers, but because I didn't really like school, I don't remember those people making that big of an influence on me. Maybe one or two, but as you get into middle school, you kind of mature as a kid, so you have a little bit better relationships with your teachers. So I had some teachers in middle school, definitely high school teachers, and then as you're in middle school, you kind of buck your parents a little bit, but as you get older, I tend to realize, the things my dad did, my mom did, they were trying to do right, even though I didn't agree with them and I argued with them. But you know, some of those people, some of those teachers, some of those coaches, and I mean, I could sit here and probably name 20 different people. So all of those people that had an influence on me sort of helped me to learn how to take my anger issues or whatever and kind of use it for good instead of fighting or using it for bad. So a lot of those people kind of helped me to get to where I'm at, you know, now. So.
Yeah, I would say the same for my inspiration. My inspiration would be my family, friends, and coaches. They help me get better every day. Next question is, what is your goal for your future students and athletes?
You know, really just to be grinders. I mean, if you look at the stats, you know, the number of athletes who go to college and play is a small percentage. The ones who go make it to pro, it's even a smaller percentage than that. So, you know, you want your players to work hard to try to reach their dreams and their goals, but realistically, the chances that they're going to get to the pros or even to the Division I level, you know, is slim. So, you know, I don't really push guys to play college sports or even, you know, try to play, but if I can teach them to be grinders and work hard, then I know, you know, later on in life that's going to benefit them in the long run.
So, Coach Phelps, this is the final question for you. What do you plan on doing after retirement?
And I have no idea. I can retire in 10 years. I don't know if it'll necessarily be retire from education and go work part-time at a different school in education. But I do have a lot of hobbies I like to do. I know we talked about some of the sport things that I like, but I also like to build stuff, you know, work with my hands. So I've thought about, you know, just building, you know, furniture, tables, desks, or whatever, doing that part-time. I love to cut grass, do yard work. I thought about trying to get on, you know, landscape crew, like, you know, like out of college and cut the ball fields, you know, something like that. So you know, I've got some things in my head, but I hadn't really decided yet what I'm gonna do yet. I got 10 years to decide.
We're gonna miss you when you leave, Coach Phelps.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for your time, Coach Phelps. I appreciate what you done for us, and you've been a very help to me over the past 2-3 years that I've known you, Coach Phelps.
I appreciate that.
Remember, Cals, be courteous,
Be capable,
be cooperative,
and always be Callaway.